So I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. So I discovered, or maybe Kim discovered, some free streaming of some Cirque du Soleil shows. Don't get freaked out. But also I went and took a look, and there's some Cirque du Soleil workouts, and there's actually 12 of them, and I looked at number 12 first, which I liked. I looked at the other, I didn't like the others actually as much. So I'm stealing some of the stuff from Cirque du Soleil workout number 12, and a lot of it's similar stuff to what we do, but it's more dynamic movements. So rather than holding a stretch, we're doing so like dynamic movements. I'm going to just steal, don't get freaked out, I'm just going to take the warm-up sections from that. One other thing, so I've had to make some notes to remember what to do. So one other thing as well, we're having all these protests because of Black Lives Matter, and there's some of you may be familiar with Fandango. So Fandango is a movie streaming. So Fandango now, Fandangow, you don't have to pay for a subscription, but you typically rent or buy the movies, and you can get the latest movies that aren't necessarily on Netflix yet. But they're letting you look at 3 movies for free, and they're documentary films. And there's 3 of them. Is The Hate You Give, one is Just Mercy, and then there's Selma. We looked at Selma, we saw Selma ages ago, but yesterday we looked at Just Mercy, and it's about this lawyer that is helping people that are on death row in Alabama. So it's a really good documentary film, and as I say, you can stream it for free. It's very good. So Black Lives Matter, it's a lot of news there. So now the other thing is, I did send out a message. We're going to use a strap today, or a dowel. So I got this dowel. This is actually, I think the end is broken off, but it's something you put like a roller on so you can paint ceilings. So it's a really nice length. If you don't have a dowel, a yoga strap is the next best thing. And a yoga strap, it's something that's non-stretchy, like this. If you don't have a yoga strap or a luggage strap or a belt or something like that, and if you don't have either of those, you could use a towel. So you could use, if it's not too thick but fairly long, you could just roll up a towel like this. And you want it fairly long because we're going to be bringing it over our head to like that, back and forth in a while. So let me just, I've got this list of participants stuck here. Let me get rid of this. Close that out. So we're going to start off as usual. We'll start off seated, and we'll do a little bit of breath work, just a little bit, just seated, and then we're going to come onto our backs. So let's just take a cross-legged seated position, socks off, and just cross the legs, just resting the hands on the legs. Get tall in the spine, neutral spine, and just close the eyes and just focus on the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just start off with regular breathing. And then start to take deeper breaths. We're going to take about 5 breaths, and then we're going to go onto our backs and do some breathing. So take about 5 breaths, inhaling through the nose, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale, try and make that exhale just as long as the inhale. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then just open the eyes. So what I'll do is, as I say, the warm-up part today is stuff I've taken from the Cirque du Soleil video workout number 12. And we're going to start on our backs. So we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. So what happens is, a lot of time, some people are just belly breathers, some people are chest breathers, and just doing a chest breathing is you usually do like, it's almost like a panting breath. It's a very shallow, short breath. So we're going to first of all focus on diaphragmatic breathing. So I'd like you to come onto your back and just rest the hands on your belly. No chest breathing yet. So we're just going to use the diaphragmatic breathing. So as you inhale, you feel the belly rise. Exhale, it sinks. Inhale, belly rise. Exhale, sink. Do about 3 more of those. Now we're going to start doing diaphragmatic plus chest breathing. Now this is called 3-part breath. So as we inhale, you can have your hands on your belly if you want, you feel the belly rise, and then the lower chest rises, and then the upper chest. As you exhale, the upper chest sinks, and then the lower chest, and then the belly. Inhale into the belly, lower chest, upper chest. Exhale from the upper chest, lower chest, belly. Take about 3 more. Belly, lower ribs, upper ribs expanding. Exhaling. Upper ribs contract, lower ribs, belly sinks. A couple more at your pace. And then regular breathing. So we're going to keep the head on the ground, lengthen the back of the neck. We're going to do some head nods. And basically we're just going to turn the head from side to side. Inhaling as the head comes up, exhale as the head goes down. Inhaling, head up, exhale, down. Just going from side to side. And then back to center. And then we're going to tuck the chin, lifting the head up, and then slowly bring the head down. Tucking the chin, and then the head comes down. Breathing, inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to come on to, we're going to lay down on our front body. We're going to continue with the head nods. Inhale, head up. Exhale, tucking the chin. looking towards the belly button. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. We're going to head back to neutral, and then we're going to turn the head from side to side. Inhale as you come to one side, looking over one shoulder. Exhale to center. Inhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then stay face down. I've just got to, this is new to me, so I've got to refer to my notes a little bit. I also have to find my glasses. Problem with yoga doesn't cure your eyesight. It helps to keep the body fit, but the eyes are still a trouble. So what we're going to do, we're coming onto our backs again, and we're just going to pull the knees in, and we're just going to, actually I'm going to hold onto the back of the leg, we're just going to rock backwards and forwards a few times, just keeping the chin tapped. This is going to warm up the back a little bit. So just rocking backwards and forwards. Just giving the back a little bit of a massage. And then, knees pulled in, you're on your back and you're just going to rock from side to side. This time in the head, you're keeping the head down on the ground. Just rocking from side to side. And then bring the feet down to the ground. Just relax here. I'm going to check my notes again. So if we do this a little bit more often, eventually I'm going to be able to remember this. So cat-cow, so we do this. So this part of the warm-up is very similar to what we do in yoga, but there's a little bit more dynamic stretching than we do. So cat-cow, inhaling, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Just take your time. We're trying to breathe slow and deep. And we're starting that movement from the base of the spine, working its way through up into the neck. This is a good way to warm the spine up, get a little bit of mobility there. And then we're going to go into child's pose. And just hang out in child's pose, head is supported. Take about 5 breaths in child's pose. Hang out in child's pose. Come out of child's pose. And we're going to go onto our forearms, so the elbows are slightly forward of the shoulders. And we're going to I'm taking my left arm behind the back, so the back of my hand is on the back. And then we inhale, trying to stack the shoulder over the elbow, and then exhale, we come into neutral. Inhale, exhale. So adding a little bit of a twist here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then we switch sides, bring the other arm behind you. Inhale, opening up. Exhale into neutral. Inhale, opening. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Back onto the forearms. Okay, so next, what they do is they do a load of hip rocks. So another thing that I find useful sometimes, this is actually a pad that I got from one of the hardware stores, which is useful when you're gardening, but you can use it just to rest the knee on for a little bit more padding if you need. If you don't have a pad, if you need some padding, you don't have one of these, you could use a towel or a blanket or something, or a cushion. So we're going to come into a lunge like this. And we're just going to do some hip rocks. So we're just coming forward and back like this. Not going too far back, we're not stretching the hamstring out too much. It's more of a hip, working the hip a little bit more. So I'd say it's more of a dynamic stretch than what we're used to. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take the leg out to the side. I'm going to face you guys. So we're going to take the leg out to the side like this. The knees bent at 90 degrees, so the knees lined up with the hips. And we just rock from side to side like this. And you can just put your hands wherever you like. You know, and you start going a little deeper each with each breath. And the next one is a little bit more challenging. So we take the leg out to the side still, but the foot is facing forward, the leg is lined up with the hips. And then we bring the hands forward, and we come back, and then forward, back, and then forward. And you can go a little deeper each time if you want. Back, and then forward. Just go as far as feels good for you. Keep the back nice and safe. And I'm doing 5 or so on each of the rocks. I'm not keeping an accurate count. And then we switch to the other side. So we're going to bring the other leg forward. So we're in the low lunge. Hands can be on the hips or on the leg. And then we just do the hip rocks going backwards and forwards. Don't forget to breathe. And then the leg over to the side. Leg is more or less 90 degrees. And then we go from side to side. This is going to stretch out the adductors. Actually, yoga is good, or you know, this kind of stretching. It finds the tight spots, and then we extend the leg, and we turn the foot so it's facing forward, and we bring the arms down, and we just go forward and back, and you can go pretty deep back. What I'll do is I'll send you, if I can find the link to that Cirque workout, I'll send you the link. Okay, that's enough of the hip rocks. And we're going to, next, let's have a look. Oh, this is where we're going to use the, the dowel or the strap. And I do this a lot, quite often in my yoga classes. I'll take a strap, but what I do is usually a little bit more static. So what I usually do is I take the strap, and the way I hold it is I rest the strap on my thumb and bring my fingers underneath, and I can easily lengthen the strap. And then I bring the strap overhead, and then you get a nice good stretch, and I'll hold this for a while, and then I'll do some side stretches. So what they did in the Cirque video is you can use the strap if you want, or you can use a dowel. This is about 1 inch dowel, The nice thing about the dowel is that it makes you keep the arms straighter. And what we're going to do, I think I'll kneel down and do it. You might want to stand up and do this, but I'm just going to kneel down so that you can see me more easily. And just take the hands as wide as you need to. And what we're going to do, we're just going to bring the strap or the dowel or towel, whatever, belt, over the head and then back up. Good shoulder stretch. If it's tough for you, just take the hands wider apart if you can. So we're just bringing them over the head and forward, back over the head and behind you. This is going to work the shoulders. And once you've worked the shoulders, once they feel a little bit open, you might want to bring the hands in a little bit closer if that's okay, and do a few more. Actually, with the dowel, it's a little bit more challenging than with the strap, because with the strap you can sort of you can bend the strap more easily, so the dowel sort of makes you work a little bit harder. And then we're going to bring the arm forward, we're going to put the dowel and the strap to one side. That really opens up those shoulders, feels good. Oh, the next thing they did, they had the dowel like this. I don't know that the dowel really helps like this, but they do shoulder rotations. So we're circling back. You can use the strap, or you can just do it like this if you want. Just loosening up and then circling the other direction. And just loosen up. Okay. So next, let's see where we're at. Oh, next we do the bridges. Now we do the bridge a lot. And I do dynamic movements with the bridge. So when we're coming up, you want to engage those glutes. And we're going to inhale as we come up. Exhale as we go down. Inhale coming up, using those glutes. Exhale slowly coming down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Couple more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come all the way down, pull the knees in and just rock yourself from side to side. Take hold of the back of the legs and then you're going to rock up. Okay, how do we do? Oh yes. So there's a couple more things we're going to do from the video. One is called a floor hollow. I think maybe you use that name in Pilates. But basically you're on your back and you're engaging in the belly here. And you're going to bring the arms over the head. And what they do in the video, they actually hold onto a solid piece of furniture or a dowel and then bring the arms over the head, the legs over towards the hands like that. You just bring the legs in. Now if you don't have, you haven't got contact with any furniture, that's fine. We're just going to hold it here and we're keeping the head up, so we're having that hollow. So this is going to really work that. You're going to keep that. You can if the neck starts to ache, you can support the head with the hands and you're breathing. We sort of do this from time to time, and we come all the way down. That's a tough one. Okay, next. And then we go into a side plank, a forearm side plank. So some of it's, very similar to what we do. So we come up, and we're going to bring the arm up like that. And if you want to bring the foot down in front of you, you can. And we're going to hold this, if you can, for about 30 seconds. If you need to come out sooner than that, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We transition to the other side. Forearm plank on the other side. For 30, don't forget top foot could be down if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then child's pose. And then slowly come up. So that's all I'm taking from the Cirque workout. The guy that's doing the workout, he's one of those hoop gymnasts, and so he's doing the workout, and one of his female colleagues is explaining what's happening. So the next thing he does is he does some hanging from a bar, totally relaxed, and then he'll activate things. He'll do some, I think he does some pull-ups. He'll do a handstand where he just goes from one hand to the other hand, and then he'll have a weight where he's just holding the weight and walking round and round. So maybe if I remember, I'll send you the link to the video. Okay, so we're back to stuff I know more. So we're going to come into a standing position. We'll just do a few sun salutations, not too many. So we'll start off with a half salute. So we'll bring the feet together, feet parallel. We'll inhale as the arms come up, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, you're hinging forward, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale into Samastiti, mountain pose. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. So sun salutation A. We walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, we plant the hands, we come into plank. We keep the elbows in nice and close as we bring the knees down, chin chest comes forward and down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold down dog, 3 or 4 breaths. Chin is tucked, you're looking at the belly button. And just be aware of, start off with checking the hands out. Thumb, index finger pushed into the ground, little finger. Armpits towards the ground, chin tucked. Try to keep the back neutral. If you can keep the back neutral, then you can start bringing the heels closer to the ground. And then we look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, we're in plank. Chaturanga, or knees chin to ground. Keep those elbows in. You're squeezing the ribs with the elbows. Inhaling into up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hanging down dog for a few breaths. Look at the belly button. Ground the hands. Work the arms. Getting length. Breathe. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to bring the right leg up to the ceiling on the inhale, extend it down dog. And on the exhale, we sweep that foot forward, back knee down to the ground. So we're back in the lunge. So we should be warmed up here because we did those hip rocks. And you can pad the back knee if you need to with something. So we're just going to hang out here, now more of a static stretch. So we're stretching out the front of that hip, stretching out the quad muscles. And then we bring the hands down to the ground. We're going to walk that foot forward an inch or two. And on the exhale, we start to extend the leg, getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch. You want to make sure the toes are pointing towards the ceiling, kneecap towards the ceiling. If you can straighten the leg, then you can start engaging the quads. But if it's too much of a stretch on the back of the leg, just bend the knee if you need to. We're all different here. So for those that are really flexible, eventually we're going to start sliding that foot forward. And we go into the splits, Hanumanasana. If you ever try the splits, please be careful with this one because it can be an intense stretch. And if you want to work up to the splits, what you could do is you could put a block under that extended front leg and just bring yourself down to the block and then lower the block as you progress. But as I say, be very patient with that one. What we're going to do, we're just going to swivel, coming into the lunge on the other side. Let's hang out here, stretching out the front of the other leg. Going to keep the back neutral, chin tucked, head back. And just going a little deeper. Another thing that's good to do when you're in the lunge like this is if you just sink, it potentially can put a little bit of pressure on the lower back. So what I do is I sink and then I'm trying to pull that front foot towards the back knee and the back knee in. So I'm trying to pull those legs closer just to relieve the pressure on the back. We bring the hands down, we walk the foot forward an inch or two. And on the exhale, we extend the leg. And then next, I like to walk the hands a little bit closer. Foot is flexed, dorsiflexion. Quads are working if you've got the leg straight. And then this is, as I say, this is a good way to warm up towards the splits. So if you're going to go into the splits, we're not going to do that today, but just to give you a little flavour of it, what you want to do, you slide one leg forward, you walk the other knee back, and then you can get into more splits. And as I say, use a block to support yourself if you're not ready to go all the way down. Face lengthways of the mat. This time both legs are straight. And this time we're going to do a little bit more dynamic stretching. So as we straighten one leg, we bend the opposite knee. Inhale, coming up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more either side. Just going slowly from side to side. You're trying to keep the feet solidly on the ground. Pushing the outer edge of the feet into the mat. And then we're going to start walking the feet together. Heel toe, heel toe. And then we come all the way up, inhaling, exhaling, bring the palms together. So we're going to bring the feet together, we're going to come into chair. The shoulders should feel good. We've worked on the shoulders. The shoulders should be nice and open, so you should be able to get the arms either side of the ears. But if that still bothers the shoulders, just extend the arms forward, keeping them parallel to the ground. And then we come into the twist. So we bring the right arm onto the outside of the left leg, palms together, and you're looking over to the left. So I'm pushing pretty firmly into that leg with the right arm to get a little bit of leverage and to get deeper into that twist. So another thing you can try here, you can bring that lower arm, extend it down, and you can bring the other arm up. And then we bring the palms back together. We come back into chair, and we take the twist in the other direction. We did a lot of twists last week. So I'm pushing that lower arm into the leg. I'm trying to get this lower arm a little bit outside the leg so I can get leverage. And then lower arm comes down if you want, upper arm comes up. Spreading the arms. And then bring the hands together. We come back into chair, and then we come all the way up, and we just shake everything out. Talking of shaking things out, I haven't done this for a while with you guys, we're just going to stand on one leg and we're just going to shake out the other leg. I want you to see how loose you can get that foot. You want to really try and get that foot floppy. Sometimes it feels like the foot is bolted on and it's sort of, it won't be loose, but you're trying to lose all that tension. Other side. Just shake that leg out, get those muscles loose, shake the foot out. And then with the arms. So with the arms, I just lean up to one side. So the arm is just dangling here. And you're just shaking it out, getting it nice and loose. And then we work on the other side. And then you can bring the forward knees bent, both of them out. Just get them really loose. Inhale, feet together. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward. Keep the hands, fingers on the ground. Take the feet apart. So there's about 3 or 4 inches between the feet. The outer edges of the feet are parallel. Take hold of the big toes. Knees are going to be bent. Side view. So knees are going to be bent. You're resting the belly on the legs, the head is relaxed, you're looking towards the belly button, you're looking between the legs. Quite a lot of arm strength, and just find a little bit more hamstring strength. You're pulling yourself lower and lower. Keep the back happy. Should be no discomfort in the back. And if you notice, I've got contact between the belly and the legs at all times. That keeps the back nice and safe. Release, come part way up, and then we're going to slide the hands underneath the feet. So the back of the hand is on the ground, and your feet are on the palms, and the toes are right into the inside of the wrist. So you're giving the wrist a little bit of massage with the toes. Knees bent a lot. You're snuggling the belly against the legs, and then you fall forward again, head is totally relaxed. And then we see if we can straighten the legs a little bit more. They don't have to be totally straight. Just go to your level. Breathe. And then we release the hands. Bend the knees, and we gently roll up, inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale, bring the arms either side of you. Side stretch. Arms come up. Keep the fingers interlaced, index finger towards the ceiling, and we're just going to go from side to side with the breath. Inhaling as we come up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. I'm sorry my head is cut off here. Or maybe that's a better view for you, my head cut off. So inhale, you're reaching up, you're getting length, exhale over to one side. This time we're going to hold that side stretch. You're trying to keep the whole body in one line, so try not to let that top shoulder come forward or the bottom shoulder come forward. It's almost like you're in between two panes of glass. You're shifting the hips over in one direction. As you lean over, you're looking slightly up towards the ceiling. Inhale up, exhale over to the other side. And don't forget, you should be breathing. You shouldn't be holding the breath at all. Inhale, coming back up, and then we just bring the arms either side of us. We're going to interlace the fingers. Let me just change this view slightly. Have I done it too much? Yeah, of course. There we go. Interlace the fingers behind you, and we're going to bend the knees again, resting on the belly. So you're pulling the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the shoulder blades together, and you're slowly bringing the arms up as you fold forward. If you need to take the feet apart, if it's more stable, you can do that. Again, the head is relaxed, you're looking between the legs. And then we bend the knees and we slowly come up. So that action with the arms and the shoulders, where we're pulling the shoulders down, we're pulling the shoulder blades in, we're trying to get the shoulder blades as close to each other as we can. That's the kind of action you want when you're in bridge, when you're in the shoulder stand, when you're in halasana. Halasana is the legs are going over the head. Let's work on that action and come into bridge. We've already done bridge once, we're going to do bridge again, but this time it's going to be a static version. So we walk the feet in. We lift the hips up. Remember, the gaze is always towards the ceiling. Do not gaze from side to side, back for the neck. We interlace the fingers, and just like we did standing, we're going to walk those arms and shoulders in nice and close. And you might have to do that a few times. Just walk them in, keep walking them in. Once you've walked them in, you push the arms into the ground, head into the ground. Legs are parallel. Now, just like we did in the lunge, where we tried to pull one foot in towards us, we're trying to do the same thing here. The feet are grounded, you're pulling the feet in towards you. You're breathing. Inhale, lifting those hips up a little bit higher. Exhale. Inhale, hips a little bit higher. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, coming up. Now this time on the exhale, we're going to come all the way down. We come part way down. We release the arms and we bring down the upper back, mid back, lower back. You pull the knees in nice and close. You rock from side to side. We take the left leg, so the outer of the left ankle is on the right leg, and we pull the legs in, recline pigeon, foot is close to you, flex, dorsiflexion, you breathe in. So here we're trying to keep the tailbone as low as we can, you're keeping the head supported, and you're going to feel that stretch on the outside of that left hip. Take a few breaths here. For those of you that are super flexible, what you could do is you could hug that leg that's close to you. So I'm bringing the foot onto the inside of the right elbow and the other part of the leg close just above the knees on the inside of the other elbow, interlace the fingers, and then I can get those legs in a little bit closer. You can get into a deeper hip stretch, just if it feels good. And also, sometimes I like to rock from side to side, gives the lower back a little bit of an extra stretch. This is a really nice hip opener. I do this a lot. And then we're going to switch. Don't forget, go to your level. If you just want to hang out here with the foot on the ground and you're getting a bit of a hip stretch, that's fine. Level 1. Level 2, holding onto the back of the leg, foot flexed, you're pulling the legs in. And next level, if you want a little bit more intensity, you can push the forearm into the leg. You get a deeper stretch. And then the next level is you hug on. Or if you want to go even further than this, you put your foot behind the head. So do that at your own risk, please. So you have to be careful. Let's actually, what I'd like to talk about, let's see how much time we've got. Let's talk about hips and knees a little bit. So let's talk about lotus pose. So lotus is where you have one foot inside the opposite, onto the opposite hip joint, and you cross it. You know what you guys have seen, like when people are in meditation, they're in full lotus. Really be careful if you go into lotus. What happens is sometimes if people they don't have their hips open enough, it torques the knee, so you can sort of hurt your knee. So you want to be really careful. So when you're going into half lotus, you really want to pull that knee in. I don't know if you can see properly, but you want to move the hip as one unit. So you're not torquing the knee. You don't want to sort of yank the foot like this. You don't want to sort of yank it and torque the knee. So you're trying to move the hip like this. If you want to try lotus, first of all, you should be able to do this stretch. So I've got my shin parallel to the edge of the mat. And then I'm bringing the other leg on top like this. So the outer of this heel is pretty close to the knee, and then we're sort of bringing that knee down. See, I've got no gap here. So this means, you know, if you can do this, you're probably okay getting into lotus. If you like this, it means your hips are tight, your body is not ready for lotus. So please don't do lotus. A good way to get into lotus for those that are ready is if you bring one leg outside onto the knee, just like we were trying to work our way into the reclined pigeon, and you can just push that leg away. That opens the inside of the hip. And then you start bringing that foot closer to the inside of the hip. And you push that leg away. So that's basically half lotus. And then we work on the other side. We're opening the inside of the other hip. So the outer of the other foot is onto that leg, and then you're pushing the leg away, you're getting a little bit of opening of the hip. You do that for a few breaths, and then you can bring the foot in a little bit closer. I'm trying to get the heel onto the inside of the hip, and then I push the leg away. Once you're comfortable with those moves, you can then bring one foot in, and then you can bring the other leg into full lotus. But as I say, you really need those hip openers to get into full lotus. So this is basically full lotus. Another thing you want to be careful is not to sickle the foot. You want to try and keep the back nice and neutral. And if you can't get into full lotus, just an easy seated position with the legs crossed is fine, or you can just have one foot. So I've got one foot underneath one shin and the other foot on top into an easy. This is a nice seated position if you're going to go into any kind of meditative session. Actually, everyone, make sure you're in a comfortable seated position. Close the eyes. So either you can just rest the hands on the knees. If you prefer, you can cup the hands and rest them on your lap. Usually when you're meditating, you can have the eyes gently closed, or you can have them very slightly open. So that meditation it's a real challenge. Everybody just sort of thinks about everything else. You want to try and be focused. And to be focused, sometimes it just helps just to bring your attention to the breath. And what you could do is you could add a count to the breath. That helps to be more centered, helps you to be less distracted. So let's add a count, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. Breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 4. Breathing in for 4. Breathing out for 4. If you do start to get distracted, start to think about something else, just sort of let those thoughts come in, just acknowledge them, and then just let them go, and just come back to the breath. sitting nice and tall. I'm trying to keep the back neutral. If this starts to bother the back, you could sit on the cushion. So if it is bothering the back, get yourself a cushion or even come onto your back. Feel yourself getting taller. Chin tucked slightly, head back, shoulders soft. And breathing. Keeping attention to the breath. On the next inhale, bring the arms up. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bringing the palms down, hands down. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Exhale as you come down. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, coming down. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together, bring the palms to the chest. Relax the shoulders. Bring the hands to the forehead. Namaste. So thank you so much.